Okay, so we are now live on Facebook on our Rhyme and Lime page. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Rhyme and Lime, our March Rhyme and Lime, and it's our 1 year anniversary since we've gone virtual with Rhyme and Lime. So yeah, it's crazy how the year has kind of gone, and we're back to last year this time. It was the first time we did our virtual event away from the gallery. And it's possible that this might be the last virtual Rhyme and Lime, and we're going to go back to being live at the gallery next month. So I'll definitely keep everyone posted on that. I know I keep saying that every month, but I think next month might be the month if we do that. So yes, welcome everyone, anyone who's joining us on our Facebook page and watching tonight. We always appreciate our audience and our other poets who can't make it tonight. I'm sure you'll enjoy this evening, watching later when you can. So we have a small group of poets this evening. Very happy to have Hadiya join us. It's been a long time since she's been able to make it. So wonderful to see your beautiful face, and looking forward to hearing your poetry. And we just have Starry joining us now, and of course Tyrone. Good to see you. I know you usually work on Saturdays, and you're able to join us as well. So that is lovely. And of course, our regulars, Thomas and David. And hi, Starry. All right. So this evening, before we begin, I kind of wanted to start the evening with a couple of things, which is this month is Women's History Month, and so I do just want to kind of give a shout out to all the wonderful, strong, beautiful women in the world who are holding things together and taking care of their families and making the world go round. And also, I just want to, there's a lot of information out there right now that everyone during the pandemic, it's women who have been really hit the hardest, and kind of taking on job loss and having to take care of their families, and especially women of color. So even though there's been so much progress in the last 150, 60 years, there's still a lot more progress to be made for women equality, and yeah, gender equality. So hope we can all do our part to improve things there. Something else I also want to bring to light is this month especially, I personally have been hit with gun violence has really been a big theme of the month, sadly, and it's touched me personally this month, especially with the loss of an old friend who was shot and killed in St. Thomas. And then even last week, having that event in Boulder, Colorado, with the shooter there in the supermarket, which is very close to where my little brother lives and is going to college. And I, had that night, I had to call him and make sure he was okay before I could sleep, because it was very, very close, and definitely in the supermarket that he shops at. So, yeah, the gun violence, again, I don't know what the solution is, but I want to just, my heart goes out to everyone who's been lost by someone from due to gun violence, and the friends and family of Gideon Akeem Dor, who we said goodbye to today. So I just wanted to share those words for the evening, and I will be sharing some poetry on that front. But before I say any poetry, I'm going to open up with let's see, whoever wants to start. Is there anyone who has a time constraint? Starry, do you want to start? Okay. All right, so please welcome Starry Walker.
Yeah, so I'm about to go to another having a performance in about 30 minutes. So
Okay.
and I forgot that the time, like our time changed, so now we're on the same time again.
That's right, yeah.
Can you see me or no?
It's your picture, it's not your video.
Okay. I'm reading off my phone, so hopefully
Okay.
you can listen to my voice. I'm still working on this piece. I'm still working on it, so it's a work in progress, and yeah, I just want to share it. It'll be the only piece that I share. And I miss everyone, so hello to everyone that I know. I can't see everybody's face. And hello, Jamaica.
Hi, we missed you too.
Okay, so it's called For Now. The title is Amplify. This is for the Black girls that y'all think are too loud, too sensitive, too carefree, that are judged before they even speak, or when they choose not to speak at all. For the ones that like to wear crowns every day of the year because they know who they be. The ones that listen to Meg and the gospel because they are ratchet and righteous. This is not a rant. It is a reclamation of power that a Black girl needs to resurrect her voice so that it may be louder than the drums at a Southern Black Baptist church during an impromptu praise break that spills over into the late afternoon. See me head to toe, dressed in hallelujahs and amens, blessed, but with a chip on my shoulder, striving to be better, repelling your judgment because you don't know a damn thing about me. I am the product of a man's lie and a woman's wishful thinking. I didn't ask to be here, but was conditioned to ask for permission to be me. In the midst of perceived defeat, I once folded my voice into a whisper and tucked it in the second drawer of a caramel dresser that was missing knobs and leaned a little bit. So asking became a little bit harder. I gave up, laid there wishing that I could just be someone else. I started to feel dead on the inside and depressed because I forgot to go back for my lifeline. When I hid it next to the pad so it would catch my every other month middle school bloody pants surprise, a period that was always late and early branded me as the reason for my fiery attitude that I unleashed onto the guilty and the innocent. But in spite of the cramps and the soiled new jeans that your mom just bought for you, sometimes you can't just be mad at the fucking world for stampeding all over your truth, your spirit, your joy, like a herd of startled elephants, especially when the last time your voice was actually heard was the day of your birth. I was evicted from my mother's womb, came into this world kicking and screaming with umbilical cord cycles of lack wrapped around my neck trying to suffocate me. Supposedly I had been born free, but inherited strife and trauma that bound my hands. It strains me to reach up and catch my blessings when they are falling from the heavens. My mother jokes with me, you were born with a rusty spoon in your mouth. We laugh together. It makes sense. I've been hungry for a quarter of a century and still haven't figured out how I'm going to eat off of these poems yet, let alone break these toxic patterns. Did you know that for a teenage Black girl, hell can be four walls painted blue jay eggshell blue by the devil himself, and she can be the angel that God forgot to give her wings so she can fly herself to freedom? She's stuck here, drowning in depression until someone throws her a lifeline in the form of writing lines on a page. Her voice finds a way back to crawl back inside of her. She's loud because sometimes she needs to scream to remind herself that her voice does matter, that it can move men and mountains. She's sensitive because she remembers the empty feeling of not being able to get out of the bed to feel anything. She's carefree because she used to care so much about what other people thought that it stunted her growth. She wears a crown every day, walking down the street, bumping Meg Thee Stallion and Kurt Franklin, twerking because she can, and praising God because she's still here choosing life. So don't you dare judge her, even after you learn a thing or two about her. That is all.
Sorry.
I'm still working on it.
That's so like so much truth and just raw words of truth there. And I just always love your poetry, and you inspire me to write more and write better. And I wish I could write poetry like you do. You really are. Like, I look up to you so much because I don't know how you can speak truth and put through the anger in such a clear and beautiful way. So thank you so much for sharing and joining us as always. And
Oh, thank you
I
for
hope you have
your
a wonderful
words.
rest of your night.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you all when I come back to the island sometime in the future.
Yeah, hopefully soon, maybe.
Have a good night.
You too.
I'm still here. I'm listening, but
Okay, good. Cool. All right. Starry Walker. And let's see, coming next. David, are you ready?
Sure.
Welcome, David. David Knight, Jr. You are on.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great evening. I am, as I was discussing before we were Facebook Live, I'm a little bit brain fogged this evening because I got my second COVID vaccination. So this is poetry from within a second COVID shot. I just have a really short poem for you guys tonight. I know it's a short lineup here, so I'll just go ahead and read my poem, which doesn't have a title. Misfortune struck our respectable street as pure embellishment. Motor cars loosened their broad valves, fell in and out of consciousness. After a while, even our most celebrated crooner sighed like a boat with a stalling engine, his golden voice shuffling indifferently through weddings the viscosity of cane syrup. The further deterioration of mahogany tables turned out to be epidemic. We watched the sudden rise of the mongoose, a brotherhood of angry, rambling refugees prowling around with no satisfactory answers, only vague, salacious innuendo. Oppenheimer at the beginning of every true story. These days, I return to the relative safety of my coffee, keep vows of silence and efficiency, a dirty pith helmet in one hand, the oldest map of the island, barely a sketch in the other.
Beautiful. I like it. I return to the relative safety of my coffee every morning.
You will.
Oh, thank you. And David, I know you're a humble spirit, but your poetry was just published recently in can you share exactly where it was published and where people can read it?
Yes. I had two poems published in volume 3 of Forgotten Lands, which is, I believe, started as a journal that was mostly publishing artists and writers from Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, but has since expanded to be for people from all over the Caribbean and the diaspora. Started by Corey Bishop, who is from St. Croix. And Corey's here in the territory right now, so he'll be doing a couple of events for his launch of volume 3 of the journal.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah, and I loved both of those poems, so I really highly recommend everyone to go check out Forgotten Lands and read them. Great. Thank you, David. Hadiya, are you ready?
Hi, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Good night, everyone. I hope that everyone is well at this particular juncture of life in the pandemic. I actually have two poems for us this evening, a short one and one that's a bit longer. The first one actually doesn't have a title. It's labeled a poem for a friend of mine's dissertation perspectives. And I have a friend and colleague who writes quite a bit on US empire and the intimate violence of empire on Asian American daughters of war veterans. And we jokingly call each other intellectual soulmates. And so when she defended her dissertation perspectives, I was incredibly proud, and I penned a short piece for her. And I think that in the aftermath of the really atrocious shootings that took place in Atlanta, targeting the Asian American community, I feel like it's important to have a moment of solidarity And so this poem is essentially, I'll go ahead and start. Today, I wondered why we are here, birthed into this fantasy in the cosmos, beings made flesh of the word, but also of ritual, water and spirit through blood as fertilizer. Will we swallow the whole of this world and all its disciplinary techniques, or will we in our collective love struggle together to be without center and peripheries whole? And so the second poem is actually something that I wrote pretty recently, actually, grappling with a lot of what St. John is and becoming. And so the second piece is titled Inhabited and was actually penned this week, or yeah, this week it looks like. So Inhabited. Wood slaves bring luck and strength on blue black nights, and the news that someone is pregnant. So we say, hello, friend. Give thanks for your loving message from the north. Tonight, we chuckle so deep that the trees hear us and send their thoughts and prayers. Together, we are flabbergasted. Whenever white supremacists and their allies get sick of our anti-colonial talk, they frame us as outside agitators. As if the laundromat isn't in my great-grandparents' house, as if the dock doesn't bear my great-grandfather's name, as if the cemetery isn't filled with the bones of my kin, as if the wind doesn't whisper messages from my yagoon, as if our blood isn't in the water, our names plastered on the hulls of the ships, as if the souls of the caves and hills haven't spoken to and of us for centuries, as if I am not also indigenous, as if I wasn't born here and raised here too. You could not tell the history of St. John without calling the names of people who conjured me forth from their own desirous flesh. Perhaps the bitter desire to say that I'm from elsewhere is just a fantastic ploy to call this island uninhabited. But you see, I am the island, dust to dust, flesh to cove, blood to gut, braids to leaves, salt to tongue, bone to stone, the whole place inhabited. If we are no more, the island is no more. The bleached coral know this.
I love that one. We were just talking about how we want to put together a compilation of poetry that's been shared on Rhyme and Lime, and I would love that one to be in there if you're willing to share it when we get to that point.
Yeah, and thanks again for always keeping the space open for us, Jamaica. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing. And yeah, it's funny. The outside agitator thing is like, you see that all the time. Like, really? Wow. Okay. But that was very well put. Beautiful poem. Thank you, Hadiya. Tyrone. All right. Let's see. Anyone else joining? And we have, last but not least, Mr. Thomas Lynch joining us. And we'll see if there's anyone else who happens to join in between now and then. It's a short lineup this evening, so we might end early, but we'll see if anyone else wants to share a poem. Just let me know, and otherwise,
is Ty not sharing?
Tyrone's going to share, aren't you?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Tyrone is definitely sharing.
Well, I'm going to read before that because I don't want to follow.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, Tyrone. I like ending the night with you.
That's a good plan because it's tough enough having to follow Hadiya, which I believe I did last February when we were live at the gallery. And I just wanted to say, Jamaica, I'm so grateful for you doing this for a year. It's not easy duty, but the sense of community among people who commit poetry is real. And it's even though this is a virtual kind of reading, it does, sort of punch the ticket one requires to feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. So thank you for keeping it going. And thank you too. I'm sorry for the loss of your friends. There's no shortage of heartache in the world, and I don't think there'll ever be. And pandemics notwithstanding, every single death is the tough thing we have to deal with. We can take on 500,000 deaths as an idea, but the single deaths are the ones we experience as friends and family. So be good to yourself. They used to talk about a year of mourning. Take every last day of it. You know, after that, you're crazy and you need help, but do it. But I'm always a little leery when they give a month to anything like this is Women's History Month, which is a way of saying that women's history is somehow not human history. Or that Black History Month is only, you get 4 weeks to pay attention to larger than life parts of our species. And then there's Poetry Month next month. And and most of us understand exactly what it is to be marginalized because of that. So, but it's true that a month is better than nothing. So I'm glad to read an older poem of mine called "The Lives of Women," in acknowledgement that it's part of human history, not a special month. The Lives of Women. A water bucket in the birthing room to drown the female babies in is how they do it in the outer provinces. In other places, amniocentesis gives fair warning to the swift abortionist. They take the tiny fetuses away in baskets to a retort in the basement. The smoke their bodies burning makes is hardly noticed. In overpeopled cities, fat man children waddle through the streets like little emperors, their skinny sisters barefoot behind them, rummage in their litter for the leftovers. Any survivors are taken to market, arrayed in jewels and ornamental dress, exotic packages. The men stroll through the stalls, nodding and smiling, haggling prices. Here in the suburbs, we do it with promises of endless protection and acts of love. We send them to good schools and make them our muses. We send them to market with our credit cards, glad in their fashions and their BMWs. We marry them. We call them by our names. We do the dishes and help with the children. We ask their opinions. We nod and smile. We keep the buckets and the baskets hidden. And I have one other that I'd like to share. Years ago, I started writing sin eater poems, and it's a longer story, but basically a sin eater was a sort of a do-it-yourself clergy person who would take on the perdition owing to the sins of the dead guy by eating a bowl or by drinking a bowl of beer and eating a loaf of bread. And so he fed him, it was literally his daily bread, which he would take on the sins of the deceased with. And this one is, there's a bunch of them, but this one is called, his name is Argyle, by the way, because it sounded like the only reliably Scottish thing I knew about. And it sounded like our guilt, Argyle. And here's, and they're little episodes. And so here's one called His Ambulations. On Shank's mare, Argyle talked to himself. Alone, he'd carry on whole colloquies en route to some poor corpse's obsequies, these dialogues, the way he kept his wits about him, body and soul together, fit for the wretched work of sin-eating. Sometimes he counted words or parts of words as if they amounted to something more than sound and sense attuned between his ears. As, for example, how coincidence, the way grace and gratis, wherefore gratitude, partook of the a kinship such as cousins do, singing the same tune in different voices, much as grave and gravitas, then gravity, kept us earthbound, rounded, humble as the mud, the humus, so-called God wrought humans from. Or how from Adam's rib was fashioned Eve, bone of his own bone, flesh of his flesh, whom he'd got gravid by implanting seed in her unfathomably fecund Eden. The memory of a woman's company would bring his ambulations to a halt, to aim his gaping face due heavenward. The dewy air, her touch, her taste, sweet salt. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing both of those. Like the first one, especially. And thanks again, Thomas, for being here all these months, the past virtual year. And
Yeah, it interrupted my really busy schedule.
Well, I definitely appreciate you, and I too just always like your commentary and the support that you've provided, and just your steady, constant presence with Rhyme and Lime. I really appreciate. Thank you. All right, and so last but not least, Tyrone. And thank you, Ty, for joining us this evening. And hopefully, like I said, we might do a poetry night at the gallery next month. So I'm going to touch base with everyone, and hopefully it'll work with work schedules and what everyone has going on. And we can make it a time that works for all the poets. So we can do an in-person session at the gallery next month. Welcome, Tyrone.
Hey there. 1 2 1 2. Okay. Hi. So I want to say, in honor of Women's History Month, but it's not. But it is a happy coincidence, and I don't really believe in coincidences anymore. But I haven't been writing lately, and I've wanted to for a while now share this piece by someone. Someone I respect and care for deeply. She's an artist from very far away from here. Her name is Denise Chyla, and this piece is titled Go Bravely. Walk with truth in your steps and leave your mark in fire on the ground you've left behind. Combine insatiable curiosity with the desire to understand. Your mind, your intellect, and passion are the hallmarks of a life ablaze and of a heart aflame. Your imagination is like the breath of the dawn, breaking over your fingertips for you to paint life on, the world that surrounds you. So just go bravely. So much rises and falls on your perspective and attitude. The way you view the thing will determine what it is that you actually do. So never let what you think you know determine how your life unfolds. And don't ever create a definition for impossible. Just go bravely. Be the intrepid explorer of what is unknown. Ignore the people who can't comprehend that you are more than your pain, more than your trauma, more than the people that you know, the things that you do, or the way you've grown. Take time to examine your soul, look and see, reach high, and think deep. Just go bravely. And if you have to go alone, go. Walk your path, shed regret, and dance with the sun in every footstep. Leave your mark in fire on the ground you left behind, and just go bravely. Go bravely. And that's Go Bravely by Denise Chyla.
Beautiful. Love it. It's a beautiful poem. Are you going to share another one this evening?
If you want to give me a second to find one, I can.
Okay. What I'll do, you look for yours. I wanted to share a poem that I did not write this evening. And so then when you're ready, just let me know. And after that, I'll go back to you.
Heard. Gotcha.
Thank you for sharing that poem. It was beautiful. So I have a poem that I wanted to share that I had never seen before or heard before, read before, but apparently it's somewhat well-known epitaph at funerals. But it's such a beautiful poem, and since I've had a couple people pass recently, it hit me hard, so I wanted to share it. Give me one moment. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is called, entitled Epitaph by Merritt Malloy. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. That one. I thought that was a beautiful poem and comforting in some way. And Tyrone, have you found enough poem? Hang on, let me unmute you.
There we go. So this was written last year in honor of Valentine's Day, and it kind of reads like it. It's titled Sol Luna. So, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of life, I stop in the quiet places away from the sun and search for your face in the sky. I have held the sun in my hands. I have wrapped my fingers around her neck and twisted, and I have laughed as she smiled back at me. But you, Luna, you do not cause me to shield my eyes because yours are locked on mine. I have run, danced, and slept my way across the plains with the sun beating on my shoulders. But tonight, Luna, I sing a gentle song from the back of my throat to you, to the promise of cool rain, to the gentle glow that outlines our bodies as we kiss and bite and suck and thrust our way to the sunrise that we never saw coming. Give to Caesar what is his, and give to God what is God's. Okay. Well, Saul, my body is yours, always has been, and likely always will be, but yours alone? No longer. And to you, Luna, my heart. My heart thuds against my chest beyond the coquilles and the confused roosters of the night, past the quiet whispers and the sacred moans and the rustling of sheets and truths that are better left unspoken, but not. And there you are, holding my face in your hands, not quite radiant, but magnificent all the same, lighting up the whole night. So, Luna.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, and I'm surprised you've held it to yourself for the past year, and it's such a beautiful poem. So I'm glad you didn't keep it hidden forever. Thank you, Ty. Does anyone else, any other poets that are with us, want to share anything else? Everyone's good? All right. I did write a couple poems this month. And let's see. But before I do, I just want to say again, thank you to everyone who's watching, our audience and the support we have from the community. And thank you to the poets. I have to say there's been many times over the past year where I have come very close to just canceling Rhyme and Lime, because in my head, always beforehand, I'm like, oh, no one's gonna show, no one's gonna watch, I don't have energy, and then every time I do it, I'm like, why did I even think about canceling? Even if it's just one poet that shows, it still just brightens my day and just is worth it. So yeah, just thank you for everyone for all your support and everyone who comes. Like I said, if it's one, if it's 5 poets, if it's 10, 15, it's still just wonderful to listen and yeah, be a part of this poetry community. So thank you guys, and thanks for keeping it going. Let me pull up my couple poems here. Okay, so I have one dark one and one light one. So I'll share the dark one first. This one is entitled, I Drown in Hope. I hope one day these opportunities you so casually missed come back and pour into your empty soul and drown you in the tears I couldn't cry, but hid in thin smiles each time you failed at being a lover or a partner, but especially a friend. I hope one day the pain you so carelessly caused seeps into your bones and crumbles you from the inside out, for the bitterness I had to bury each time you left me, waiting for moments that never came. I hope one day all the words I thought but never said flood your mind until you gladly succumb to madness, for the anger I could only express in poems that didn't rhyme. So that's the dark one. And this is a lighter one to end the night. I did not name this one, it's untitled. I watch the hen with her chicks. She quickly brushes the leaves away, her 2 feet sifting through the dirt, finding a safe, comfortable place for her children. They tweet around her with full faith in her protection. I watch the hen, and suddenly I realize there's no difference between her and me. The false sense of superior humanity in this moment disappears completely. We are two mothers caring for our young, and in that we are equals. I watch the hen with her chicks, and I see me.
Thanks, Jamaica.
Thank you. Thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everyone, and look forward to seeing everyone next month. As I mentioned, I'll keep everyone posted, the poets, and of course on Facebook if we decide to go and do an in-person Rhyme and Lime next month. So I'll let everyone know, and yeah, look forward to next month, April, Poetry Month, as Thomas reminded me. So yes, have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next month, one way or another.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Sounds good. Have a good night.